Happy holiday, everybody! Okay, so it's holidays for you, but not for me, for we tackle Challenge 13. Beans. It's yet another one of these challenges where you are blindfolded, except that this one challenge really stinks. And I mean absolutely no pun because of that. So, your loadout for this challenge is the bean, the black bean, which makes you fart every time that you get damage. You have butt bombs, Pyro. And at last, you have 9 volt, which makes it so that your bean will slowly recharge while you're currently clearing a room, because it's a one-room charge item, and therefore you will be able to fart multiple times if you have the patience to do it. I can guarantee that you'll have it, but you can always give it a try. Yeah, it's kinda hard to avoid this guy whenever you can't even fire tears at him. So just in case that you've forgotten what butt bombs do, well, it deals 50 damage like your normal casual bombs, and it also deals an additional 10 damage to every other enemy in the room, as well as confuse them for a while. Also, hooray for us getting a magic mushroom. Apart from giving us extra health, right now it does pretty much nothing. I guess we're a little faster, but that's about it. There's really only one silver lining to this entire challenge, and it's the fact that you only need to go all the way down to Mom in order to win this challenge. Imagine going to Mom's Art or however long you could possibly go in the game with this crappy loadout. I mean, the big danger with this challenge is that you have 99 bombs to finish the challenge, which you'd think would be very generous, but if you manage your inventory badly, then it's highly possible that you're gonna run out of bombs, and therefore you will get to this fail state where you won't be able to attack anyone, except for like waiting an entire minute in order for your fart or your beans to become all filled up again. And if you ever reach this point in the challenge, you might as well quit, because it's not going to get any better or more fun for you. It's only going to be a very trudging and painful misery of a journey. So while our loadout in a way is kind of strong, it's pretty hard to use properly, and unlike the Suicide King challenge, once again, you can run out of ammo if you're not careful. I mean, there are ways in order to make it so that you will be able to get more bombs along the way in a very reliable fashion, such as the 2 of Clubs card. I'm pretty sure that's how I beat this challenge the very first time that I did it. But other than that, it's pretty much all RNG, and if possible, you're gonna have to wait a shitload during rooms in order to save up on bombs by doing this kind of thing. Instead of using like 1 or 2 bombs, you can just fart. You're gonna need your bombs for the later levels of this, where it's going to be very difficult to just fart in order to kill enemies. I mean, in the depths, you're gonna have some enemies which will not die to the bean, and therefore you'll have to use your bombs, or you're just going to use your bombs in order to shorten certain rooms in order to not have to go through them. All in all, this challenge is a complete clusterfuck, and not in a good way. Honestly, for this one challenge, it probably will be best for you to avoid devil deals altogether, because you want as much health as possible, because you're going to get hit all of the time during this challenge, and starting this challenge, having Gimpy, aka the thing which gives me half a red heart whenever I sometimes kill enemies, that's really going to help a whole lot. I mean, earlier we had 9 lives, dead cat I mean, and I totally skip on it because, well, it's completely useless to pick it along if you cannot finish any single room without getting hit. And honestly, there are even times where it's almost better to take a hit and make your way through the room by farting your black bean at enemies. And yeah, all in all, yep, that's my opinion of this challenge. Thank you, Isaac. With that said, if you can have access to something that will give you black hearts, it will be a very good fit for this challenge because you're definitely going to want to use your black hearts for some of the more troublesome rooms that you're going to find, aka when there's going to be a shitload of enemies and you might have to use something like 3 or 4 bombs to kill them all. All in all, really messy rooms, so that's probably something that we're going to have to use whenever we'll be in the depths. Failing that, we're just gonna bomb doors because we're not gonna deal with this. Also, the other problem that you probably just noticed is that as you go further and further into the game, the bosses also have more health and therefore you're going to need even more bombs in order to be able to use them. Temperance is not really going to be of any use for this challenge, except maybe if we needed some help in order to stay alive, so we're just going to dump the donation machine in order to make it so that we can blow it up in order to get some health back, but other than that I don't really see any use for it. Yeah. Also, whenever these flies get confused, they can become kinda hard to gauge properly because their flying pattern just becomes completely unpredictable. Once again, whenever you have rooms like this one, just wait until you get that one sweet spot whenever all of the enemies will be close to each other so that you'll be able to fart at them in one single go. Okay, I would have liked having more than one heart, but we'll deal without it. So whenever we have dead ends like this one, we're just going to bomb our way out. It's completely useless to fight our way through this room, so we're not even going to bother. Honestly, this is another room that I could have bombed out of. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do, but since I went through so much trouble, I might as well kill this champion head, just in order to get the pill that I'm gonna get out of it. Even though, for this one challenge, pills can be a very bad idea, because if you get a Bombzarky pill, then congratulations, your challenge is over, because you're probably not going to have any more bombs left after all this. Also, thank you game for spawning a heart in the middle of the sky where there's absolutely no way for me to get it. So yeah, if you find pills in this game, you take them at your own risk. You never know whenever your entire game is just going to collapse and completely be ruined in a spontaneous manner. Also yeah, Larry is such a wimpy boss that just farting at it almost kills it in only one go. No wonder that this guy just appears in the basement. He's such a freaking wuss. I probably could bomb my way out of here, but I'm kinda tempted by the door up here. Maybe there'll be something good, like a whole bunch of items, but no. We're just going to get a dice room out of this. In earlier patches of the game, if you had a dice room like this one, you'll be able to reroll all of your items, and that will also mean rerolling away your blindfold, but I don't think this is the case anymore, and if I get rerolled, who knows, maybe my situation is just going to be even worse. I mean, my butt bombs could be just taken away, or maybe I could have gotten the cry bombs and therefore become incredibly powerful. Nah, we shouldn't assume any of that because this is something very dangerous, especially if it happens. We're going to do this and try to have as little risk as possible. I mean, this fight is already going to be rather touchy just because this freaking butthole of Gertie is gonna take 1,000,000 bombs just in order to die. So we only have 2 floors to go, but we're already down to 69 bombs, so we're gonna have to be really careful. Yep, you always gotta be careful whenever 69 is involved. The tarot card machine can be useful if you can get a hand on it, because you can just gamble all of your money away and get nothing, I guess. But hey, the matchstick is an actual good reward for us to get because it increases our chances to have bombs. And since this room is a dead end and full of really powerful enemies, whatever, we're just going to ignore it. And yeah, we're already reaching the point where some of the enemies that we have to deal with are too strong to deal with just farts. I mean, the champion gaping things that shoot brimstone lasers have more than 40 HP, which is the number of total damage that you will do whenever you fart. But still, I was on a roll whenever it came to dealing with these scumbags. Oh man, my farts can go in a circular motion now. No, I'm sorry, but we're going to keep with the matchstick. Mom's toenail could also have been an interesting trinket to bring, but unfortunately it's too unreliable in order to use in any decent fashion whatsoever. I just feel like that if I brought it along, I probably will be the one who would get stomped to death by Mom, and therefore I will decide against it. Instead, we're just going to try and have more additional bombs, even though so far it's not really doing a whole lot. But this is not here in order to do your entire job. But yeah, even the basic enemies here barely survive my farts. Oh, okay. Well, to be fair, I already had Curse of the Lost, so nothing has been lost. But yeah, once again, you gotta be careful whenever you play the pill game. Oh yeah, speaking of pills, there's new pill effects in Afterbirth too, and almost all of them are completely worthless and make you feel like you did a mistake by unlocking them in the first place. Also, fuck this... Ah, no. Yeah, normally I want to clear such rooms because you're gonna have to bomb a door every single time that you come in, but honestly, I don't want to even tackle this room by trying to kill anyone. This is the kind of room where a black heart is necessary, and no other substitute will be accepted. So yeah, it's now time to play Leapfrog with the Leaper, just in order to get farted to death. But yeah, any possible way that you can have that will save a bomb, you gotta do it. You have no choice. Also, I hate that despite dealing an equal damage to both parts of the Mr. Moss, they still end up being the little strutty dudes with no head. So alright, here's a slot machine or tarot machine. We're just going to use it in order to try to get some soul hearts out of it. There might be some trinkets or cards, but yeah, I think that's the one we're going to stick with, the Chariot. Because it will allow us to ram into a whole bunch of enemies and hopefully kill them before not too long. Also, fighting this giant turd is a completely bad idea because it's gonna require at least 4 or 5 bombs to kill it. So, ignoring it is still the best way to go. Yes, I love going in rooms where I'm unable to do anything because, yeah, it's totally pointless to fight, but while I'm at it, I might as well just end it because of that bright blue brain that just supplied me with a bunch of helpful flies. Yeah, whatever, we're just going to leave them be by and stuff. Come back whenever there will be something happening. Okay, so it turned out that this entire place was a dead end, but on the flip side, we do get a black heart, so therefore, we will be able to clear this giant room full of flies. I think that's how they're called, so yeah, we're just going to fart ourselves twice in order to wipe out the entire room in only one go. Hooray for farting. Yeah, I swear I'm just becoming like the developers of this game now. And yeah, that's a perfect room in order to use the Chariot. To hell with hunting every single one of these enemies, and even then I still miss my go. So, alright, come for me, you brain! Man, such a thrilling challenge. But the bad thing about this is, there are new challenges in Afterbirth, and I think, compared to some of these new challenges, I think some of them are still worse than this one, so it's really a bad thing. So now, that was a fight that I thought would be really hard in theory, because having 2 haunts is really shitty, but thankfully, these guys don't really have a whole lot of HP, so therefore, I think I'm still spending less bomb killing those guys than I did, for instance, killing Gertie or even Chubb, so all in all, I can't really have too many regrets about this. Okay, so having hearts is good, but this guy is actually not too bad in the circumstances that we're in, because now I have a perpetual mean of attack. No, wait, a permanent mean of attack. That's the word I was looking for, but yeah, we can use Brother Bobby in order to kill enemies by shooting tears at them, you know, like we normally do in the game before we were thrown into that gauntlet. Okay, I didn't want to fight all of these things, but hey, I still got a blue heart out of the deal, so I guess it's not too bad. But the bad thing is that I wasted my fart into this other room and... Oh yeah, that's right, I can shoot tears now! Okay, they're pretty bad tears, but still, it's better than nothing! Says I after taking like 2 hits already. If I just decided to drop 1 or 2 bombs, I would have been over. This whole room would have been over, but honestly, I'm gonna save up on the bombs because any less than 35 bombs or so whenever you fight Mom is really not a good idea. You might end up fucking it up because she's kind of unpredictable whenever it comes to the way that you have to attack her and stuff. You don't have a whole lot of openings in order to drop bombs in order to kill the boss. So you better go into this fight with as many bombs as possible. Now this room might be tricky and I'm certainly not helping myself by colliding into the brains instead of walking on the creep that they leave behind, because the creep will do half a heart of damage to you, but the brain will deal a full heart of damage to you no matter where you are in the game. Even in the depth, there are still really dangerous enemies and you gotta be careful. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother fighting this. I have no reason to go to the shop, I don't have any money, and whatever is for sale there, it's certainly not of any use for me, so we're just going to back out of any dead ends and only pursue if there's a path forward. Good thing that we're not on hard difficulty or anything, because that would have been definite hell. Because if we were playing on hard mode, the floors are bigger and therefore we will have many more chances to blow this entire thing apart. Like a fart up here. Okay, I'm not too sure where I was going with this, but I was going somewhere, believe it. And yeah, those regular enemies are completely immune to one single fart, so you're gonna have to use many more. Oh, now we're finally going to see what those guys do. Yep. These enemies can be pretty deadly because not only they make the entire room dark whenever they finally break free of their leech, but oh my god, I am doing terrible right now. But once that they've broken out of their leech, they also become invisible and therefore they become much harder to hit. The only thing is that most of the time they're never gonna have a chance to break free because they usually die so quickly. So here we go, it's the fight against Mom, and it unceremoniously opens up by us farting on her. So the best thing to do in this fight will be to stay close to the doors in order to lure Mom into slapping you with her hand, and therefore you will be able to bomb it, or you can just run into it like that. But yeah, you don't have a whole lot of time in order to attack her whenever weak spot appears, so sometimes you will have to just lay a bomb down and hope for the best, which is why you will need several bombs in order to be able to do it. Honestly, I think this is the most efficient fight that I've had for this one challenge ever. I honestly didn't believe that it will be over this quick. So here we go, the farting hell is over, and we get the burnt penny as a reward. And now, it is time for a special feature. Hello, my name is Edmund Macmillan. You may remember me from such tales like The Boy Who Farted on a Tree, He Who Farts First, Fart Last. I just decided to compile a feature presentation of my favorite moments where a boy farts himself to death. Isn't that amazing? Such poetry as we're gonna watch a little kid being confused and pushing a bomb into his own face. Absolutely delightful. Now, big monsters here take a lot of bombs, but we certainly can take a lot of bomb. I still play with my own poop. Either way, I've saved the best part of the presentation for last. This delightful fight against your mother. Watch as one boy must fart on his own mom's face in order to win. This is absolutely ironic, just like extreme fever curing a fever. Man, I am so deep. So this fight is very hard because, as you can see, we've got the upgraded version of Mom with the stronger enemies, and therefore this means many more mean to fart into your own face until you die, especially with these spiders. Very stealthy enemy. My favorite. I was having the idea for a second that spiders will be able to bite you in the dick. Oh, here's my favorite moment. Oh, gotta rewind the tape. Yes! Yes! The perfect fart, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at it in slower motion. You can tell by the density of the fart cloud that this is a Fartacus trudicus. A perfect blend of fart. 5 out of 5. Either way, that was the magnum opus that is my Beans Challenge. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I mean, I have yet to play it, but it was so fantastic when I came with the idea of this. The endless farting. Absolutely perfect idea. How could it possibly go wrong? A pilot license. What for? Either way, happy holidays, or whatever you celebrate.